All right, what's going on? Today we are talking about salt. This is going to be a really quick training video, but I think it's super important here. And so I just want to talk to you about salt and what you're really eating. And just a few minutes, it's one of those small things that will shift how you feel every day. And this isn't something crazy that you have to change. It's really something simple that can make a big difference. And so I want to start by talking about an old line in Matthew that just says, "You are the salt of the earth. But if that salt loses what makes it salt, it's good for nothing." And I love that because it's a perfect picture of what's actually happening. Like I know there's a lot of spiritual stuff here, right? Like can apply into your life, but this is also a perfect picture of what's happening to the actual salt that we're eating in our bodies. Salt was meant to carry minerals and life, and we have stripped it of everything. And so let's look at what's actually left. So what is in your salt shaker? It has been refined down to 99% sodium chloride. So there's nothing left but salt. The trace minerals have been taken away. It's extremely processed. They add anti-caking agents, and then they put iodine synthetically back into it. So you always see, oh, get it with the iodine. The problem is as soon as you expose the salt to the air, the iodine's going to evaporate. So you're not even going to have it anyways. And that is literally only one of the nutrients that was removed. I find it funny that they do that. So refined table salt is mostly sodium chloride. Trace minerals have been removed. So compare that to the real salt, like Celtic sea salt. So on the left, you've got refined stuff, mostly sodium chloride. The minerals have been gone. The additives are in it. It's a perfect white color, right? And on the right side, we have what's Celtic or Redmond salt. This is real salt is what we call it. It is mineral rich. It has dozens of trace minerals in it. It's a little bit moist still. It's like a little bit gray or pink because it hasn't been bleached or processed. It is basically the difference between something that's whole and something that has been stripped down. So these real salt, and we can talk a little bit about them, but I want to talk a little bit about magnesium. Celtic, I don't know why I say Celtic. Celtic salt has 3 types of magnesium: sulfate, magnesium chloride, and magnesium bromide. And that's why the salt feels like it's a little bit moist. And it shows up in these natural forms. And why do we care about this? Because magnesium is one of the biggest players in calming your nervous system, helping you sleep at night, and softening your stress response. So for us, working on cortisol and things like that, like this is where we need to focus, right? Salt alone will not get you all the magnesium that you need, but this is a huge proponent of why it matters. Now I want to get a little bit of sciencey here, but stick with me for a sec because this is really it's really cool how this works. Every cell in your body has tiny pumps. These push 3 sodium out and pull 2 sodium in. So think of these pumps of potassium pumps and sodium pumps inside your cell. Potassium's inside, sodium is outside. And these pumps push 3 sodium out and pull in 2 potassium. And that process of doing that creates energy and electrical current. So the process of your cells moving potassium and sodium is what, almost think of it as a wheel, right? Like a water wheel. You know how water comes down and it charges it? Think of it like that. That is what creates energy, ATP, energy for your body to use. So how you get energy is from sodium and potassium pumps inside your cells. And so that is what contracts your muscles, pulls water in, pulls nutrients. It literally gives you energy, right? And so hydration is not just drinking, it's having the minerals to move. And so the problem is when you have a ton of salt, when you eat McDonald's and sodium, or you have fake salt that is pure sodium with no other potassium or any other minerals, that balance becomes unaligned and you have more sodium outside than inside. So instead of the sodium going out, right, and being replaced in and out, you have a disruption where it's not happening anymore because the sodium outside is too big. And that is what has led to when you have issues with blood pressure and salt, and they talk about all this stuff, like this is why that happens. And so it's not about more salt, it's about having a balance. And so having a quality salt is so important because of the micronutrients and because of the ability that it gives you for your energy and your cells to function, right? Sodium and potassium work as a team. So here's a 30-second habit I want you to try. Well, first of all, I want you to start buying Celtic salt or Redmond salt for your salt. Do not buy table salt anymore. It's barely more expensive. It is going to change everything. I want you to, in the morning, if you want to try it, you don't have to do this, but take a pinch of the salt, put it on your tongue, just a couple crystals, drink a glass of water, and just do that in the morning. Or if you really want to challenge yourself, whenever you remember, you take a little salt and you drink water with it, and it will change everything. So that's a fun little thing I'd love for you to try. This is, when you think electrolytes and Gatorade and all this stuff, that's what it is. It is hydration, and electrolytes is literally just taking that salt on your tongue and getting your body to do that thing. And so the cool thing is when you do it with real salt, it makes a huge difference. As a little reminder, check with your doctor first if you do have like high blood pressure, kidney issues, or follow like a sodium like restricted plan. And just for that. But small swap, big difference here. This is a photo of each one. Celtic salt and Redmond's real salt is good too. I prefer the Celtic because it has the 3 types of magnesium. But what I would do is just swap it out with this. I'll send you a link as to what it looks like. But a phrase that I've heard Barbara O'Neill say is that genetics load the gun, lifestyle pulls the trigger, right? And so if we can just change this lifestyle habit, right, of the salt that you're eating every day, I've switched to Celtic salt. I've never gone back. There's no need. So that's my one little blurb for today. I hope you learned something. Remember, 1 pinch of real salt, 1 glass of water, that's where it starts. Swap out your salt. It'll make a big difference. And have a good day. See you in the next one.